Welcome to Episode 67, Media Protection, Part 1, Purpose, Scope, and Handling Basics. Every organization depends on information stored and moved across many kinds of media, from printed reports to cloud-based backups. Protecting that media prevents accidental disclosure, unauthorized modification, and permanent loss. Media protection matters because data does not secure itself. Once copied or removed from its protected environment, it becomes vulnerable to mishandling or theft. A misplaced drive, an unencrypted backup, or a careless upload can undo years of technical safeguards. The discipline of media protection closes those gaps. It translates classification labels into daily habits, how we store, move, reuse, and dispose of information so that confidentiality and integrity remain intact. Building on that idea, defining what qualifies as media sets the boundaries for control. Media includes any physical or digital material that can store data. Physical media might be printed documents, hard drives, optical discs, flash drives, or even old tapes in long-term archives. Digital media covers virtual storage volumes, snapshots, or data stored on removable devices. Treating media broadly avoids blind spots. For instance, a phone backup or memory card can leak sensitive data just as easily as a server disk. By defining media inclusively, policies can apply consistent safeguards regardless of form. The goal is simple. If data can live there, protection must follow it. Once defined, the sensitivity of the data determines how strictly the media must be handled. A public document can move freely, but controlled or confidential information requires physical security, access logs, or encryption. Sensitivity levels stem from data classification schemes: public, internal, confidential, or restricted, and each level drives storage, transport, and disposal requirements. For example, payroll records demand tighter handling than published brochures. Aligning sensitivity with controls prevents both overreaction and negligence. People need to know not just what is sensitive, but what to do differently because of it. When data sensitivity drives behavior, protection becomes automatic rather than enforced by constant reminders. Media exists in three fundamental states: at rest, in transit, and in use, and each state presents distinct risks. At rest refers to data stored on a device. In transit means data being moved or transmitted. In use means data being processed or viewed. A printed report on a desk is in use. A backup tape in a cabinet is at rest, and a file copied to a USB drive for shipment is in transit. Controls must cover all three states. Encryption helps at rest and in transit, while access control and privacy screens help during use. Thinking in these states helps teams visualize where exposure might occur and how to prevent it. Labeling and marking requirements turn abstract classification into visible instruction. Labels indicate sensitivity level, ownership, and handling expectations. For physical items, markings may appear as colored tags or headers like confidential, authorized use only. For digital files, metadata labels or watermarking systems serve the same purpose. Labels remind handlers to apply correct precautions even when content is unfamiliar. A misplaced label can lead to misdelivery, while a missing one leaves staff guessing. The best practice is to apply markings automatically during data creation and verify them before distribution. Consistent labeling guides behavior without needing constant supervision. Secure storage locations and access controls safeguard media when not actively used. Physical media should reside in locked cabinets or controlled rooms with restricted entry. Digital media belongs in protected network repositories with role-based access. Access control ensures that only authorized individuals can retrieve, modify, or destroy items. For example, classified drives might require dual authorization for removal. Audit logs record each access, providing traceability if items go missing. Storage control is about predictability, knowing exactly where each piece of media resides, who can reach it, and under what circumstances. A secure storage posture prevents casual exposure and builds confidence in accountability. Transport safeguards and custody steps protect media on the move. Moving data, whether physically or digitally, increases exposure to loss or interception. Physical transfers should use sealed containers, courier tracking, and signatures at each handoff. Digital transfers should occur through encrypted channels or secure portals, never through unsecured email or generic file-sharing tools. Custody documentation, receipts, chain of custody forms, or automated transfer logs shows who had responsibility at each stage. For instance, shipping a drive between facilities should generate a receipt chain from sender to receiver. Transport discipline proves that trust did not depend on hope, it was managed through evidence. Encryption decisions and key handling protect confidentiality and integrity at every stage. Encryption should be applied in proportion to data sensitivity and storage environment. Portable devices, removable drives, and cloud storage should default to encryption using strong, validated algorithms. However, encryption is only as strong as its key management. Keys must be generated securely, stored separately from data, rotated regularly, and destroyed when no longer needed. A laptop with encrypted files but an unprotected key taped under it offers no real defense. Treat keys as assets that need the same protection as the data they guard. Correct encryption turns stolen media into useless noise. Eventually, media reaches the end of its useful life, and decisions about erasure, reuse, or destruction become critical. Reusable media must be sanitized before reissue. Non-reusable media must be destroyed beyond recovery. Erasure can use secure overriding tools or degaussing for magnetic drives. Physical destruction methods include shredding, crushing, or incineration under supervision. Documentation should record what was destroyed, by whom, and when. For example, a destroyed backup tape should have a signed certificate of destruction. Proper media disposition ensures data cannot reappear later through salvage, repair, or resale. Destruction is the last act of data stewardship, not an afterthought. Cloud storage introduces new layers of complexity because media may no longer be tangible. The organization must rely on the provider's controls for storage segregation, encryption, and disposal. Due diligence includes reviewing provider attestations and contractual commitments regarding media sanitization when storage is decommissioned. For example, when virtual disks are deleted, residual data remnants must be overwritten to prevent recovery by other tenants. Cloud does not eliminate media, it simply changes its location and visibility. Strong agreements and periodic validation keep cloud media protection aligned with on-premises standards, maintaining end-to-end assurance. Logging, receipts, and reconciliation verify that all media handling events are accounted for. Each check-in, check-out, transfer, or destruction should generate a record that can be reconciled against inventory. Periodic audits confirm that the number of items expected matches those present. Discrepancies trigger investigations before they become breaches. For example, a quarterly inventory might uncover an unreturned drive or mislabeled disk. Reconciliation transforms administrative logs into operational assurance. When every movement is documented, accountability becomes built in rather than reactive. It is the quiet mechanism that keeps trust measurable. People, roles, and accountability give structure to all these controls. Media protection involves many hands. Owners classify data, custodians store it, users handle it, and managers oversee compliance. Each role must be clearly defined so responsibility does not diffuse. Owners decide sensitivity, custodians maintain storage, and handlers follow procedures. Assigning accountability ensures someone can answer for each step without ambiguity. Training and reminders reinforce these responsibilities. A culture of ownership replaces blame with clarity. Everyone knows what they safeguard and why. Accountability is the glue that holds technical and procedural controls together. Common threats and mistake patterns highlight why discipline must be constant. Loss of portable drives, improper disposal, unencrypted transfers, or mislabeling remain frequent causes of data exposure. Human error, not malice, accounts for most breaches. Recognizing these recurring patterns helps teams prioritize prevention. For instance, issuing encrypted drives by default removes temptation to take shortcuts. Regular awareness campaigns remind employees that even small lapses can have large consequences. Predictable mistakes deserve predictable controls. The key is transforming learning from incidents into permanent habit. In closing, consistent and simple handling behaviors make media protection sustainable. The more straightforward the rules, the easier they are to follow under pressure. Define media broadly, match controls to sensitivity, track movement, and train people in ownership. Whether physical or digital, on-premises or in the cloud, the same principles apply. Know what data you hold, where it lives, how it travels, and how it ends. When these fundamentals are routine, media protection stops being a special project and becomes a natural part of operational hygiene. That consistency is the quiet strength behind lasting data security. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.